Yes, yes, please.
Is I've got just a few slides, and Rich and I have talked about TSANet, and you guys have joined up into what we call the open groups, as well as having a custom group with Nutanix. We'll kind of walk through that a little bit. I was debating on which set of slides to use here, and I can actually use these right here, which is administrator training slides. There we go. I don't know if somebody dropped or came in, but we'll keep going. So, and I don't have very many slides, and I really would rather spend a little bit more time on the tactical side of this. But from a TSANet perspective, so the high level on TSANet, this is a mechanism for you to be able to collaborate with your partners. This is a not-for-profit industry association that's been around for 25 years. And what we do is we provide a mechanism for you to be able to collaborate and engage with other partners. A big piece of that from a value perspective is we provide the legal infrastructure. We've got all these companies to agree to this, to a common language and a code of conduct, and then we can build relationships upon the top of that. So there's a lot to TSANet. I'm going to cover more of this is how you use it. This is how you can administrate it. We identify really 3 different types of people within the TSANet structure. There's the business manager that we look for that actually will manage the relationship itself on the business side. They actually also maintain voting power since we are a not-for-profit. And they would look at TSANet in a lot of different ways, but also strategically, which may also come into where a partner manager might look at this. If you look at what Nutanix has done, they're using TSANet to pull all their partners into a support relationship. They, along with Microsoft and Cisco and HP, and I can go down the list, right, of all these companies that do the same thing, because it's a really easy way to create this mechanism under a vendor-neutral support structure. And then we also have key users. And so I think each of you would probably identify support team leaders within your teams that you might want to have access to this. Here's the problem with TSANet. I'll tell you up front, it is not used a lot. The volumes are low here. But when you need it, then you've got the ability to be able to engage and collaborate with other partners. And where you've got a mutual customer between the two of you, then you've also got that obligation that people will work with each other. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of different ways. I noticed right before the call, not all of you, but many of you are actually already having a login into TSANet. It's very easy for you to get one. If you actually go to tsanet.org and click on register, Rich, that will go to you and you can set them up. It'll automatically put them in the system, and then it's defaulted right now that you would approve them. And they obviously got to have your domain, but we could set them up however you want to do that. And you can set up both callers as well as administrators into the system. Contact documents, I'm going to show you this. The contact document is kind of where the rubber meets the road on TSANet. It's going to tell you how you're going to engage and collaborate with another member. Being an administrator on this, you're going to have the ability to go in and change these or edit these documents to make sure that they're always up to date. You're going to see they're split into really 3 different sections. Before you call, which is you're telling all the other member companies that you have a relationship with, this is how I want to be engaged, and this is the information I need before you engage me. That would include things like, I need to know this is my mutual customer. Otherwise, I'm not going to give away free support. And then how you contact, how do you want to be contacted? There can be multiple methods. You can use all sorts of different ways, whether it be email, whether it be phone numbers, all sorts of different ways for you to be able to provide that engagement to the other members. You can get very granular with these documents. If you want to provide a path for one company one way or a series of companies another way, you have the ability to do that. We do have this case exchange product that is available to members. It's included in your membership. It does allow for the electronic interface of tickets. I won't get into that because it's really a separate discussion, but if you want to know more about it, we can certainly arrange a call for that. And then also at the very bottom of this is going to be an escalation path. So if something were to fail, you're going to have the ability to be able to escalate a call within that company. And then you've also got the ability to escalate that call to TSANet, and our job is to make sure that that company is being compliant with the relationship that they came into. The internal notes section is something that I'm going to show you, but it can be very effective in guiding your engineers to other member companies and providing them other detailed information about engaging that company. So it's a process that you can very easily go in there. And so an engineer that needs to contact Cisco or Microsoft, you can go in and say, all right, well, if you're contacting Cisco under these circumstances, be aware of this, or whatever happens to be. Only your people will see these internal notes. And I would highly advise that you use those, and we'll get into that. Also, when we get in the database, you're going to see that there's a lot of different companies that are in TSANet. We're approaching 600 member companies. That does not mean that you have a relationship with all of them, but you can certainly add what we call custom groups and be able to pull these companies that either in a one-to-one relationship with another member, or if you want to pull somebody who is not a member of TSANet into your custom group, can be done very easily. This is exactly what Nutanix is doing. They're pulling other companies in that aren't TSANet members and coming into a relationship that they have. And again, I'll show you how this works when we get into to the database. There's some reporting mechanisms in there. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then there's other training that you want to do, and we can do some co-branded training. We were just talking about, I've got an intro call coming up this week that I've got almost 60 people that are in on that. So I can do that. This is a broader one, but I can do it specifically for you as well. Okay. So here is the interface. I've logged in as Rich here. You notice up here, this is what they call the My TSANet space. This is basically going to be a shortcut, and I'll show you how you do that. Down below here is the member directory. I can click on My Relationships if I want to filter it out this way, and these are all the companies that I have a relationship with through TSANet. So if I need to engage Amazon, I can come over here and click on Amazon Web Services. It's going to pull up their contact document, and here is where they're telling you, this is how I want you to engage me. Here's the information I need before you engage me. Here's how I want you to engage me. Here's how you escalate to me. They are part of the basic TSANet. If I wanted to add an internal note about Amazon specifically to my engineers, I could just simply come in here and click on Add Text, and I could write whatever I want in there and save it, and then only your engineers are going to be able to see that. Okay. If I want to come in and whoops, I didn't need to do that, but we'll go back to it. And I know that Amazon is one of those companies that I might be contacting on a little bit more regular basis. Then what I can do is I can come in here and click Add to Shortcut. And then when I go back to my TSANet space, Amazon is going to be there. Do that with any company in here. You're going to note that there is quite a bit of difference between some companies. If I go to IBM, it's going to take a while to load here, and what I'm going to get is IBM is set up basically by product type as well as by geo. So there may be multiple ways for me and multiple different divisions of IBM that I would collaborate with. Okay, so what I would do is I would set up the engineers that they can, this is a space they will have. The difference between you and what we call callers is that you have this administration interface up here. If you ever needed to go in and look and see how to edit a contact document, for example, I can click in the submenu here on contact documents. And I'm going to see that I've got one contact document set up for basic, another one that is set up for the Nutanix relationship. If I click on edit, I'm going to be able to see this is the document, and here's what it looks like. So this is what everybody else in the basic TSANet, which is basic, which is a group of companies of right around 100 companies. This is what they see when they go to engage you. And Rich, I didn't know, do you want me to spend any time on this, or just let them look at it, or what?
No, this is for incoming calls, really. So
Yep.
I'll review it with David if necessary.
Okay.
I think I took pretty much what he wanted us to say.
Okay. So again, you can come in and edit this. Depending on what you want to try to accomplish here, even if it's still within the big group of the big ecosystem of the basic TSANet, if you wanted to create a document for a specific company or set of companies, we have the ability to do that. You can edit any documents that's in the system, but I have to create or delete them. So if you wanted to do that, all you got to do is get a hold of us, and we'll be certainly here to help you with that. If you want to look at adding people manually, you can come in here to the users area, and this will allow you to go in and add new people into the system. You can give them a user ID and a password. Rich, your setup is what we call a business manager, giving you the ability to also create program managers, which also have administration capabilities. Okay. The cases tab is actually set up for case exchange, which we're not going to get into. The reporting section, there's some things here that are probably worth getting into a little bit. I would specifically look at your user login area. That will tell you if people have logged in. Here's the problem with me reporting things out. Since I don't know if you've actually placed a call or not, or if a call was actually placed to you, I can't record that. The only thing I can record is that an engineer went to a page and they were on there for X amount of time, and so I assumed that that was a call. So I cannot give you real good statistics on the use of TSANet or who you called, but I can tell you if other your engineers logged into the system or they have not logged into the system. I can do that. Okay, and you'll see the calls received and calls made. We actually will record some of that data. Okay, the other piece of it I want to go back very quickly to on this non-TSANet member. So if you're looking for a company, you're going to see that there's a lot of different companies in the database here. The ones that are grayed out means that they are in a relationship with another member company that you don't share a relationship with, meaning they're not in these big ecosystems of the basic TSANet that has that 100-something companies in it. However, because they are a member and you are a member, it is very easy for us to set up a relationship with them. And so if you wanted to say 6Fusion, you can, if the engineer clicks on that, it'll bring this up and it'll tell you, sorry, they're not in a relationship with you, but you can invite them into a relationship, put some comments in here and click on invite. That will send us an email at TSANet staff telling us that you want a relationship with them, and then we can go back to them. What we would do is set up a custom group, which is from your perspective a one-to-many relationship. From their perspective, it's a simple one-to-one relationship, but very easy for us to pull them into a custom group with you. So if you've got a company that you need a relationship with that is either a member that you currently don't have a relationship with or is not a TSANet member, very easy for us to be able to do that. Okay. And is there other pieces, Rich, that maybe we've talked about previously that I didn't touch on that you'd like me to cover?
I guess we could, let's go a little bit, go through the Amazon as an example again for you know, what sort of information we collect, because it's very similar to what we ask for. You know, we want to know in our case, we only have one product, so we don't really worry about the product ID, but we need their description, the mutual customer information. In our case, I think we do it by email addresses, basically, and then the other information that who's from TSANet, the other member from within TSANet is calling and what they're. So we have a reference number for their case.
Yeah, exactly. So the business flow here, right, is that if you're out getting a call outbound, your customer has called into you. You're obviously working the issue. You've already created a ticket within your system. Now you need to engage Cisco. And I don't know if that's a good example or not, but we'll go to Cisco anyway. Okay, and they're actually separated out a little bit by some of their recent merger and acquisition activity. This is the main Cisco support center, their tax. And this is basically what they're saying. This is the information I want. Now they get pretty granular with what it is that they're looking for here. So I would advise you to maybe take a look at those companies that you would collaborate with more often and become familiar with what it is that they're looking for. And there's your TAC numbers, as well as your escalation path. And you can notice they go as far as to create a TSANet alias in their emails for escalation, so that automatically goes to the right people. Okay. Any other examples, Rich, you can think of you want me to show?
No, that was it. I just wanted to kind of let
it sink in a little bit about how this is, what it really does, right? How it works.
Yeah. So, obviously, it's only going to work if the customer has a support contract with the other company, and because that's what most of them require, right?
Yeah, there's a few exceptions here and there, but I would say for the most part, you're going to be right on track with that. That just like, nobody wants to accept an inbound call and start working a high level escalation issue, because most of these are going to be higher level escalations that have come in where the engineers basically thrown up their hands and gone, I can't figure out what to do. I need to engage and work with this other company. So it's probably already been through at least some general troubleshooting, if not some higher level troubleshooting on the other side. So when you're receiving a call, right, it's going to be not just somebody that went, oh well, I'll contact Turbonomics to do that, right? It's just not going to be that way. Again, yep. The call volumes are low, right? But if you're getting a call or placing a call, it's probably an important one. Okay.
All right. If anybody has any questions, speak up now.
I'm good.
Okay. It's pretty straightforward, right? I mean, there is a lot more, and I will tell you that what I would invite you to do is take a look. There's a lot of stuff out on TSANet.org, right? Take a look at some of the other things we're doing. We have strategy meetings actually throughout the world. This is a very member-driven organization. Those companies that are using this custom group and partner group type of thing, which we're seeing much more activity in that to pull their partners in to a support relationship, seeing a lot of activity from a lot of companies on that. So you've got struggling with, okay, I need to pull in these partners, and how am I going to manage, how I can see how I would contact them and how they would contact me. Really think of TSANet, because it doesn't actually cost you anything to do that. You're already a member. Okay, so Rich, I'm going to send these slides. Stephanie will send these slides to you. If you want to do additional training on the caller side, don't hesitate to contact me. I'd be more than happy to do that. We've got these webinars that are basically broader, that'll cover the same thing, but you're more than welcome to utilize us, and we can do something specific to your teams if you feel it's necessary. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, guys.
Yeah, great. This is helpful. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good one. Take care.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.